Okay, we have an update. Tidradio, the H-3 Plus. And I'm currently running the 1.0.37 and the update is 1.0.42. And it does add some new features like the spectrum, a couple of settings I think. Now, I wouldn't try downloading using my MacBook Pro, the 16, the new one I have, the M4, because I didn't install none of the drivers, so it wouldn't work using Chrome or Safari. However, the laptop I'm recording from right now is the, is it 2014 or 2016, I forget now. I have an iOS 18, but yeah, macOS 18, I think it is. And of course I did a crack so I could install this, otherwise I would have been stuck 2-3 versions away. I did initially successfully download it using the Mac side. However, since I have the Boot Camp installed, I might as well use Windows 10. Surprisingly, I couldn't use OD Master. It kept getting hung up. So didn't want to spend no more time, and I decided to go the way that seems to always work for me well, without no issues, and that's to use Windows 10 and go to the walkietalkiesoftware.com. And log in, you have to log in. You scroll down to the version you want, which is the H3 Plus, ham, normal. Normal would be, I guess, referred to unlock. I think that's probably a good way of putting it. So you basically select that, and then you just download it. Okay, click down, and it's done, which I successfully did. And of course, I had a zip file, which I unzipped. And once you unzip, you have CPS H3 Plus, ham radio only for Windows. I didn't use this one. It's more or less the older way of doing it. Upgrade H3 Plus firmware, ham or unlocked. And update via Type-C cable. I didn't bother using the Kenwood, so that's the one. And here's the update app, and this is the two versions that come with it, the 4.2 and 4.1. I installed the 4.2. So I hit the update. There you go. Let me zoom in so you'll be able to read it a little bit better. And let's see if I could move this a little bit. Okay. First thing you have to do is open, select that file. I want to reset. However, I need to plug in the radio. Let me grab one. This particular computer has a USB A/B port. So at this end I have a USB-C. So basically, I guess I should zoom out first so you can see it a bit better. There you go. I thought I had it plugged in, but I guess not. Okay, you plug it in. The radio has to be turned off. Okay, it's off. You got to hold the push to talk button and the number 3 together. Push to talk and hold the number 3. Then power on, and you should see this icon. If you don't see it, you didn't get it right. There you go. And it will go black after that. So you put it on the side, you won't see no activity. And I'm just looking at the device. Let's see, the update is now available, so it has found the radio. So you hit update. I should zoom in now. Okay, it doesn't take too long. The spectrum analyzer was kind of interesting. I'm not sure what its function will be yet, but we'll see. Okay. Let me just back off a little bit. It restarted. I'm going to unplug. I have two clear ones, one green, one black. For some reason, this clear one is kind of a gray look, and I like it. Feels nice. Color-wise. I have no issues with any of the radios. My green one, I did have to go in and change the settings for the push to talk. For some reason, it could have been a radio I was testing and forgot to reset it back again. But I verified all the other ones are okay. So, VA6ALY testing. Just verify that. Okay. And VA6ALY testing on. Let me switch frequencies. I'm not on VFO. There you go. VA6ALY testing. I have another radio in the background so I can hear myself. This way, minimize any interruption. Find a frequency not in use. So, this is the setting that I use. It's, I think, called Classic, but we'll check. Let me zoom in a little bit on this so it makes it easier for you to see. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to hit. This is what you get new. Analog set. That's a completely new feature. Frequency calibrate. For UHF band, the default is plus 200 Hertz. Go back. For the VHF band, it's 100 Hertz. I'm assuming you can correct your receive. I'm not sure if it's a receive or transmit or both. That's something I have to check. Or it could be something totally different. And then you have AM volume level. Default is 1. I'm assuming this for airplane mode, listening to the aviation, but too soon to say. And if you scroll down to scan, there's something new there too. Scan mode, seek, hang, scan frequency, frequency ranger, that's the band. Excuse me, from 136 to 600 meters. And spectrum. This is where you can go in and then when I hit the push to talk, and if I transmit, let me grab a radio. VA6ALY. Oh, just a minute, I gotta... Oh, I'm on the wrong band, that's why. Okay. Here you go. This would suggest that I'm off. Yeah. I'm assuming that's what it is. Anyways, I will be playing with that later on to see what that is about. Okay. Without holding it, it's supposed to be 1125, so it looks like I'm off like 0.2 0.2 hertz or something of that sort. There is settings for narrow and wideband, and there is settings that you can do to make the changes, but I won't play with that right now. Oops, that's the FM. So that's interesting. Yeah, I got this program for FM and weather. FM for short, long for weather. I'll go into more details with the settings, but I thought first thing to do is to get this update. And if you have a Windows 10, this will probably be the quickest and easiest way to use Chrome. You may have to go through installing some software and drivers if it's not done already. I can't confirm if it'll work on a Mac because I haven't tried it other than this laptop using Mac OS 18. And my new one has Mac OS 26 and none of the drivers have been installed, so I wouldn't even try. I'm sure Windows 11 probably won't work either. Okay, hopefully this helps. Until next time. I was asked to show the settings. Basically the way I have mine done, I guess. So I would go to Menu, Settings, go to Radio Settings. I hit the blue button again. Squelch level, default, I believe it's 4, letting it there. My steps, I like 2.5 because I like to move in small increments. Vox level I don't use, so vox delay I don't use. Total time of transmission, I got it set from about 120 minutes, I think, which is about 2 minutes. So this way it stops me from talking too long. And so it's great. This way you don't tie up a repeater talking too long. You just drop off. Roger beep, I turned that off. I don't want no noise. Keypad beep, I turned that off. I don't want no noise. Power save, well, this is where you could extend the battery life. Normally the level is set for 1.1. Yep, so I gotta be careful I don't tip this over. I'm trying to keep the radio steady. So I'm gonna save it, then hit the orange button to step back. Keypad lock, I normally have it on, but it's off right now because of demo. What's nice about it is that when you first turn on the radio, you have maybe a few seconds and then the keypad, everything locks up. It's great when you're handing radios to a group. They don't accidentally change frequencies. But if it's just yourself, dual watch, I have it on because I like to communicate with both bands. There you go. And voice, I turned that off. Backlight, I believe I have that set normally at 30 seconds. But oops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Let's go back down to there we go. Do watch. Voice is off. Backlight. Okay. Always on right now because of this demo, but normally 30 seconds. Brightness 5. I think that's the max. Power on display, yeah, I have a message when I power up. Display, classic. I find I don't care for single nor the dual. The dual, it had channel numbers and frequencies or something like that. At least with the classic, I get what I want. It's the closest anyways. Okay. Anti-edit, nothing. Display type, default. Display type, default. Tones, whatever the default is. Push to talk delay, it's I think 100 milliseconds. I like 0. Unfortunately, it's not available. So when you transmit, there's 100 milliseconds before it actually transmitting after you push the button. So you have to remember to pause a split second before you start talking. Once you push to talk. Language, of course, is English. Alarm, I don't use. Side tone, default. Tone burst, default. Talk around, default. FM interrupt, I guess if you're listening to an FM radio, broadcast that option, and I believe it will interrupt. Whatever frequency you're talking. I think I have it off. I don't need it. Okay. This is where you program your push to talk and your FM radio or your weather. So I have the PF1 short for push to talk. 02. Yeah, that's. Let me just go back up again. This is. I have push to talk 2 on that one. Okay. Let me go back. Because it's a push to talk, the long press won't work, so you go to the other one. And I have it for FM radio. Interesting. Yeah, what I found when I did the update, it had to push to talk on, so I only could transmit one band. Thought for a moment, oh, a bug, but it wasn't. Just that my green radio was set up under the old version, which you had to program the second push to talk. With this update, it's back the way it should be. I should not have to use up one of my buttons for alarm and weather. So I think that's a fix. Long as factory reset. Default. Mic gain. Default. Default. I don't use it. I don't use it. Don't use it. AM band. Yeah, if you want to listen to airband. Now, this is where you have to be careful. If you want to transmit on the 200 megahertz, which we have a ham band, but if you're not licensed, you definitely do not want to transmit. I think you can still receive, but it will stop you from transmitting. So you may want to just leave it be. Same with the 350 and 500. Menu color, I like red. You can change the color, that's what we see here. That's it. So let's go back one, and we'll go to program channel. Default, bandwidth, wideband. I like wideband. Okay. Transmit power, default. It's low, maybe, I'm not sure what it was, but I have it on high. But if you do a lot of talking and you don't need the high power, switch it to low. Your battery will last longer. Any handheld, no matter which one you have, you always want to have 2 batteries. So when you order something like that, order a second battery or a package that comes with 2 batteries. Busy lock, I have that off. Otherwise, you won't be able to transmit when the frequency is in use. So, keep that in mind. Call code, I don't use. Push to talk, I don't use. Scan, add, I believe I got it on. Okay. And scramble, I don't use. Offset, I don't use. And it's a reject. Okay. Don't use this. Memory channel, I guess if I want to change the memory or delete memory channels. Hopping I don't use. Channel name, of course, it's in the programming. The way I program is the way I leave it, the way it shows up. That's it. So let's go back. Now we go to analog. Frequency calibration, I kind of set that already. UHF is 200 plus hertz and VHF is 100 as a default. I'm not sure. I know it goes in increments of 10 hertz. So I'm assuming it's just a receiver. You can fine tune a little bit. But I have to test it with a frequency counter. Okay, if AM volume level, I think default is 1. If you find the airband volume kind of on the low side, you can probably increase it a bit. So, yeah. Again, I don't use it, but it's there. Radio info. Radio info. H-3 Plus version 1.0.2. There you go. Scan, that's a couple new features in there. Scan mode. I think I had a video about this. I don't use scan on this radios at all. The only scan I use, it would be either my ICOM or my TD, was it 876 DMR radio, which very similar to the H8 and H9. I think the H9 it has packet APRS, DPS option. That's about all. Okay. Seek hang time. How long you want a scan to stay on frequency before it moves on. Scan frequency would. I guess you could have create a whole bunch of frequencies for scanning. Okay. Frequency ranger. Well, you could reduce the bandwidth if you want to, for example, only scan the 2 meter band or 70 centimeter band. I'm assuming you can alter that. Okay. I'll just leave it be. Spectrum. This is new. There you go. And if you hold down the 7 key, number 7 on the keypad, it will bring this up too. Okay. Now, there is one more. Oh, that's not the one I want. Hold on. Yeah, I hit it again. So when you're in Spectrum and you hit it again, you have modulation, step frequency, threshold, and cursor, and bandwidth, and reset. Modulation, FM of course, step frequency, 0.1 kilohertz. This will be settings for your Spectrum. Okay. Threshold, I don't know if it works properly or not. I remember trying to, if I go over 200 it won't let me, and if I go under 200 it won't let me, I don't think. At least I tried that earlier, so I'll play with it another time. Cursor, I think default is off. I turned it on, not sure what it is. Maybe I should turn it off, seeing that was the default. I think it has an effect on the display. Let me see. 5 bandwidth. I need wideband. There you go. Reset. So there you go. When you're in Spectrum scan and then you hit this again, it'll take you to these steps. It's almost like a hidden feature. Okay, I think that basically covers the basics. I mean, there's other programming information. I have videos. I think it hasn't really changed on these. I find chirp Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work, depending on the model, depending on their updates. So it varies. That's why I use my system. It always works. Okay. Hopefully this was of help to those who asked. Have a nice day, and please subscribe if you haven't. Thumbs up would be nice. If you haven't done so, it would be appreciated. Please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.